with anything in crafting, everything's easy really once you know how to do it. So I'm going to show you the tips on how to do a star. So let me take you down to the table. Come with me. There we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it really, but I'll hold it up to you as we go. Got a white gel pen, and to get it running I just run it on the back of my hand and it gets it going. Hopefully I've got a good one. That looks alright. Oh yeah, it's going. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is a flick. It's a flick. Flick. So it's not drawing. This is what a lot of people tend to do, is they draw a line. They go like that. Not very straight. It's a drawn line, but that's not what we're after for a star. For a star, we want the line to disappear, so we're not after a solid line. So if you draw a line, that's not going to give you that starry look. So this is what you need to do. You need to find your center point of the star and flick. All right. It's just a flick. All right. So that's all I've done is flick. This is the trick to doing a star. You turn your card around 180 degrees and you're going to flick again in the same direction that you did the first time. So you flick again. And you can see the dot. Can you see the dot where I started the first flick and then the second flick? Hope so. Then we turn it 90 degrees and go to where that dot is and do another flick. So it's like putting an arm on there. Then we turn the card again and flick again. And there you've got your cross. All right. Then you turn your card. The idea is you turn your card, you only ever flick in one direction. Always in one direction. Flick, turn your card, flick, turn your card, flick, turn your card, flick. And I might do that top one a little bit longer. There we go. And there we have a star. How awesome is that? What I would suggest to you, the flick is important. If I was to draw that, and I'll do a drawn one beside it, and even if I remembered to turn the card and draw and draw and draw, turning the card each time, I'll show you the difference between the flick and the drawn star. Alright, that's the drawn star, that's the flicked star. Can you see how different it looks? It's subtle, but it makes the world of difference. And if you look up to the night sky and look at the stars, and they've got a little bit of a twinkle to it, they're not looking like a straight star, are they? They're looking more like this. So I've done quite a big one here. What I'd like to see you do is grab a white gel pen and some black card and flick and flick and turn and flick and turn and flick, turn and flick, turn, always flicking in exactly the same direction. And there we have another star. And then what you can do is practice different sizes. So you can do smaller ones and bigger ones. And just see how you go. I think I need more of a tail, so I'm going to put more of a tail. And there's a small one. So all of a sudden you start getting these twinkly stars all over your page, like this. All right, I'll bring you back up for a second. The idea of flicking the star is so that it doesn't have harsh edges on it. So I think that makes it more realistic on your backgrounds. The idea of just flicking and in one direction is so that you can get a straight flick each time. If you flick in one direction and then you have to turn your arm around to flick in another direction and then turn your arm this way and try and flick in this direction, you could end up with a hook in your line. So you're not going to get that nice straight flick. So to get the straight flick, work out what direction you flick best in, because it's going to be different for everybody. And then that's where you turn your card to each time. Does that make sense? All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is show you. This is something we made some time ago, and it was the galaxy background. And thank you to everyone who had a go at the galaxy background and put it up in the group, because it was amazing to see. I thought we would do some stars on this galaxy background, so I hope they work. I'm going to use the Herald Angel stamp from Lost Coast Designs, and what I've done is I've just stamped it onto a bit of photocopy paper because it's nice and thin, and I thought it might go nice on the galaxy background, which I think it does, doesn't it? Do you think it goes nice on the galaxy background? I thought that would be something nice to put some stars on. So we'll go back down and we will put some stars onto our galaxy background. We'll put one over here. So flick. Oh, well, put my glasses on. Get it running. Doesn't seem to have much colour. And flick, turn, flick, turn, flick, turn, flick, turn, flick, turn, flick. I'm going to put one up here. I might put a small one up here. So a flick, a 180-degree turn, then a 90-degree turn, turn. So I've got the top and the bottom. The bottom I like to have a little bit longer than what the top is. Turn the card and fill in each of the quarters with a small flick, like that. And I don't know, let's put one here. So a flick, turn the card, flick. Want it to be a bit longer. Sometimes, I don't know, depending on your gel pen and how it's behaving, you might need to do it 2 or 3 times if you're confident. The trick is to practice on your black card first before you do it onto your good card, because you've got to get your flick happening first. And we'll leave it at that. Now look at that. Hasn't that come alive with just a few simple little stars added into the background? You like that? I like that. So tell me, the people who are watching at the moment, have you grabbed your white gel pen and a black piece of card, and have you had a go at flicking, or are you drawing? I think the first instinct that most people have is to they'll get the flick happening, because you've got to remember, I've got a flick, so it's a flick. And then they've concentrated so hard on flicking that they forget to turn the card. So there's a lot of elements to remember. And who would think that there'd be so much behind a star? But it really does look effective. If you've got a really steady hand and you've got a gel pen, you could put it a little bit of shimmer in the center of the star, because, you know, the starry sky has a bit of a sparkle to it. I don't think a gemstone in the middle would be realistic, but if you can get a little bit of shimmer flicking, don't draw it, you've got to flick it, and you've got to go over where you've already got your white lines so that it looks realistic. But that's a challenge too, and you'll be amazed at what you can do. Oh, good, Samar. Samar's going to have a go, so it'd be nice to see. I don't think my gel pen was all that white. I did have a go earlier today because I thought someone's going to ask me, can you do it with a white paint pen? So I thought I would just have a go with a white paint pen, in case anyone was wondering. It's too thick, my paint pens, and I tried the Delusion paint pen and I tried another one, a Uniball one, and they are far too thick and they came out gluggy, so I wouldn't recommend paint pens. Yeah, so Annie's going to have a go at flicking. So if you've seen the video on YouTube where I've done the gel plate, and it's all in the flicking of the roller, so it's all in the wrist, all in the wrist. Straight wrists aren't going to give you a flick, so you've got to flick. Okay, that's about all for today. I'll get going and let you get back to your day, and I'll see you for another Facebook Live in a couple of weeks, and I think that puts it, what's the date today? 3rd, 17th, so that'll be just before Christmas. I don't know if we've got too much coming in before that time, so it'll be just a nice quick one and a bit of a demo, and I'll see what I can come up with you that you might like to have a go at for next time. See ya.